Hey, welcome. My name is Jackie, and I'm a creative designer from sunny Miami. I like to write, speak, and teach about digital media and marketing, as both can be found together online or in places you've never really thought of. Working in entertainment is difficult, and definitely not for the faint of heart. It's an industry that is cutthroat, but gives an ultimate bliss feeling of seeing months and months and months of hard work come together and being enjoyed by thousands. Today, I'm meeting with social media lead Alyssa Lamas and marketing manager Caterina Haddad, both ladies who work for the club scene in Miami, the heartbeat that truly keeps Miami alive. Besides Cafecito and playing dominoes, of course. They promote multiple shows for the ever-famous Space Club, Floyd, Space Park, and one of the biggest events it happens every single year, 3 Points Festival. If you like music, meeting new people, and finding new artists, I invite you to take a night off and visit these clubs or attend a 3 Points Music Festival to experience something unique, only found right here in Miami. As a music lover, I definitely have a soft spot for these places in my heart and core memories that I would cherish with my friends forever. That's why I wanted to chat with these ladies and see what it's like to work behind the scenes of their marketing and making these shows happen for the public to enjoy. So if you like music and rep the 305, this one's for you. Enjoy! Hi, my name is Jackie and I'm here today with Alyssa Lamas, social media lead, and Caterina Haddad from marketing manager for live events concerts in Miami, like the very well-known Club Space in Miami and the ever-famous 3 Points Music Festival that brings you music, art, and culture cultivated in one weekend. Alyssa and Caterina, welcome.
Hi.
Cool. So I want to start this, I don't want to start this off really cheesy, but I just wanted to start cheesy.
Yeah.
But in a very short, what got you into being a marketer and why were you interested in specifically entertainment marketing?
Do you want to go first?
Just give me 1 second.
Okay, then I'll go first.
I can't think about it.
In short, what brought me into like the marketing side of things in general was when I was in college. What I was majoring in, I like kind of came to the conclusion that it wasn't going to make me any money. I was majoring in philosophy, so I pivoted really hard into public relations. And through public relations, just like schoolwork, it coincided with me starting to go out to clubs, and so I met people. I eventually met the owner of the club just by going out, and through one of my assignments, I met one of the owners or the founder of the festival, and it all kind of just like swept itself together.
That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah,
like for meeting people.
You just like meet people, and you find yourself in a spot, and then you're like, oh, I'm here.
I've been told recently more that they're like, oh, you talk a lot, like you're kind of annoying, and I was just like, I mean, I do, but like I have a lot of.
How you get things.
I get like my stuff done that way,
that's
so like
how you get things.
Yeah,
that's
and it's
literally. I mean, I started here as an intern, and like I was in college, and I graduated college now, and I'm still here, and it still is just like you meet more people with what you're doing, and like these like entertainment industry things is for people like you.
Yeah, I tend to. It's the same way when I was in college. Like I think I was gonna go into like sculpture, and my professor was like, people like you go into printmaking because you like to talk to people. I'm like, all right, cool, that makes sense to me, so it works. Alyssa.
Well, this job honestly just like
landed in your lap.
Landed in my lap. I honestly didn't really know what I wanted to do. I studied like writing in college, but I'm also like a DJ, and I've always been to like music and going out, and also the same. I met.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's like the same thing that happened to you, because what happened was really, the reason you got the job was because me and Evie, we were looking for someone who was social media, who could be our social media lead, and we weren't looking for like a resume. We were looking for somebody who was like already a part of the scene, somebody who like gets what's going on, and somebody who has like just like somebody who wants
too.
Yeah,
like I'm passionate. Like I love
somebody who's passionate about like what this is, because there's nothing worse than like hiring someone for a job who's just doing it because
it's very to the book.
Yeah, because this is something that you kind of have to put like you're 110% into. So we were like, I think Alyssa would be really good at social media. Never had a social media job before, and we hired
it's the
her.
first one.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I mean, it gets the job done. So our first question I have for you guys, it's 5 in total, but I have 2 extra ones if we have the time. So when making strategic marketing decisions for all of your events that happens once a year, what processes or methods do you use?
Wow, that's a broad question. We definitely look back at what worked and what didn't last year. That's like definitely where we start, I would say. But there's kind of like a general, at least with 3 points in general, you know, we kind of tweak it every year, but it's mostly just there's a pre-sale. We take it, like, it sells out the pre-sale. Then we release a lineup, put tickets back on sale. Then that sells out, and it's
that's like the funnel.
Yeah, that's kind of like the big time thing. And then in between, you know, there's like creating hype on the stories so that when people see things, even though we haven't announced it, they're like, oh my god, are they hinting something? You want to make people think
I'm definitely that person who has a 3 points like attendee myself.
Yeah. So that's all, like, that's pretty strategic. Like, you have to, like, I mean, if you know 3 points, you know that it's been a while. We probably should have announced the lineup by now, and we haven't. So a lot of people are kind of like, what's going on? What's happening? Yeah. And so we have a date to announce the lineup. It's just not as soon as it has been in the past years, but we've just been teasing things, and people are like, oh my god.
It's more fun that way.
It is, but it's like things like that. You just have to create the hype. At least for the festival, it's really all about creating hype. And right now, especially post-pandemic, I'd say it's even like a little more. Now that we've ridden off the wave of like, we're free. It's like back, because Miami did it first. So like a lot of people now are like free, and we're like, we already did the we're free thing. So we're back to kind
right.
Of
it's the in marketing terms, it's the blue ocean of everything. Yeah. Because everyone's like now it's becoming more convoluted just because everyone's trying to do the same thing, and then
everyone kind of got over the I need to get out of my house.
Yeah.
So it's also like trying to pivot those things, because like you can see it not just in like the festival, but like in like the club and stuff. Like people kind of tamed down a little bit. Right. So now we need to counter that and figure out like how to, you know, bring the life back.
Right. I actually have a question that kind of goes into ties with that one. Before we go to that one, do you guys use any planning event software?
No, I wish we did. No, we don't.
No, like HubSpots, anything.
I think like the most we use is that one of our other social media coordinators uses like TweetDeck to schedule tweets. Oh, we use we use Facebook stuff. So we use like Creator Studio to schedule posts, and then we use Business Suite to do ads.
And I know we talked about it on the phone, but like you guys use Facebook ads, not Google ads. And how do you guys put pixels?
We have pixels on all of our stuff. So we have pixels on like our website. Every time you go on, like we get your pixel. We have the 3 point pixel. We have the space pixel. But we have like all of that kind of info, and so we all use it to like kind of cross complement each event. But specifically for 3 points, yeah.
Got it. Cool. All right. Like I said, I think Facebook's a little bit more difficult than Google.
I've never done the Google thing.
The Google one is very broad. Definitely broad. You can do everything on it. I've done like videos through YouTube, like the Google search ads, and then done the search ads. I've also done like keywords as well. So, but
I tried it when I first started working here, and we just like ended up not.
I feel like it depends on like what the niche is for the business. I feel like that's really big for like, I think it's really good for restaurants.
Yeah, so someone who's like walking around and they're like, I want to eat this kind of food tonight, and then they'll show up. But for the club, like for us, I think it's more, at least for the club specifically, it's more like we're trying to sell specific shows.
It's niche. So it's a niche. It's like super niche. So Instagram is more also a bigger platform for you guys.
Instagram's probably like the biggest thing that we use.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then for 3 points, definitely just Facebook ads.
Yeah, before 2020, when the big show was gonna happen, when you guys did the promotion for like the phone number, and then you called, and then they told you like the secret stuff. That was probably the most fun.
That was so fun. You're right.
I actually mentioned that at my job the other day, so I was just like, we can do something like that. And they're like, that's not gonna work. I'm like, whatever, just fine.
No, that is a cool one. It's like those silly little. It's for the alt crowds, because I mean 3 points is alternative.
Yeah, so. Definitely. It always has been, and I always tell people when they were like, should we go to 3 points? I'm like, if you like, I like music. I played music all my life. and I went to art school.
Yeah.
And then
and
then Tallahassee, that was such a like big
Sorry.
deal. So like one thing like I do miss like a lot
is live music.
Live music, but
That's
also making
nice.
art shows at people's houses because people would do house parties.
I miss house parties so
like the
bad.
house parties, but they weren't really like house parties.
Yeah.
It was like an exhibition.
Yeah.
So they would be like, "Yo, the local band is playing.
Yeah.
We're doing like
I
an
know
art."
like two little collectives. We can talk after. I know two people who do those kinds of things. One of them's in South Miami.
Somebody was telling me South Miami was one of them, and one of the biggest was in Tallahassee was Shark Tank. That doesn't exist anymore. Because those people left. They left college. So, like, their house, they didn't live there anymore.
Yeah.
So, they're like, no more Shark Tank. It's done. And, like, I got to be part of one of those things. I did, like, a Halloween-themed one, and I made zines.
You should start it.
So,
You should start one.
I definitely have a lot of summer projects after all of this has. So, for our second question, kind of connecting back to what you were saying before. So, what are the post-pandemic hurdles that you came across with booking shows? And was there something that you learned in the first hurdle, bringing back 3 points last year, that you're applying it now to future 3 points at other events?
That was a good one.
For 3 points, I think the greatest thing that we learned post-pandemic was take your time and don't rush into anything because you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We had to like reschedule it twice. And in hindsight, like we could have just rescheduled it once, but we really didn't know anything about the pandemic,
right?
At the time.
Yeah.
So like,
and you weren't alone too. It was like a lot.
Yeah,
it was a lot of
but
people.
like now, especially with like this one, and even after this first one has passed, like, and as we've gotten bigger too, it's been a lot more. We've had a bigger team now because we have Insomniac involved, who's kind of like our parent company now.
Mhm.
So like we still do like the front end of things, and they kind of help with like the broader stuff. And like having that kind of team has helped us see little things like even just being more attentive to what the people are saying. So like all of the things that happened last year with like the new setup and actually listening to that feedback and being able to apply it. Because we're not overwhelmed is like one of the big ones. I think it's just like take your time and do it well, because rushing it and like just trying to get things out to people never works.
It was definitely interesting. It was bigger setup.
So we had never done anything like that
Yeah,
before.
I was not expecting something like that, and like me and my best friend, like we go every year.
Yeah.
Since I was in college. Like,
so you've seen.
So I've seen it. I was because like when my boyfriend was the first time going there, and I was like hyping this thing up, and then I think he was just like, it was okay. I'm like, it's not supposed to be like this.
Year will be better.
It's not supposed to be like this. Remember, there's a post-pandemic. He's like,
this year will be better. For post-pandemic stuff, it's really just like whatever. Hindsight's 20/20. You might as well just do it right the first time and like take your time.
Yeah.
And like people aren't gonna hate you if you like take time. Like people are freaking out over like the lineup coming out late, and it's just like I promise, like we're doing it for you.
I mean, they're gonna shut up once they see it.
Yeah, once they see it.
So I worked in events before, so I've been there where I was just but obviously we weren't doing music, we were doing like celebrities and voice actors, and that was like a big deal because like Florida SuperCon was such a big deal here. It still is, but now it's owned by Repop, the people that do New York Comic Con, so it's much more massive than it was before, not a mom and pop type of thing. And like working on that back end was like it's very like, oh my god, we're gonna put it out, but then you're also frustrated, like, you know what, I'm gonna put it out, and it's like, no, don't do that, and it's like, I'm gonna do it.
You
and it's
just
like
have
this
to pull
theater.
off the Band-Aid, but like you can't. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the shortcomings came from like second guessing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. You just gotta like be confident in like your and like when it's ready, it's ready.
And but
have you met David? You
No.
probably spoke to him. Okay, well he's very much like vibes. So like it's only when the vibe is right that
Yeah.
the thing will happen.
like
type
just
shit.
do it now. Like
He'll be like announcement at 11:11.
Yeah.
Announcement at 1:11. Announcement at 3:33. Like everything has to be like the right vibe, like at the right time, no rushing. Like they'll call him from corporate and be like, "We need this right now." He's like, "I don't know what to tell you." It's not right.
He works in the South Park method, that like they put out episodes and they're like corporates are calling them, they're like, we need this right now for the network. They're like, it's okay.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Like, you don't know what you're talking about. And then they'll like send it out like 5 minutes before the deadline, and then it's 20 minutes later it's on Comedy Central. And it's like, and then it works.
It works. You just gotta trust the process.
Yeah, especially since, so for something like that has like 1,000 seasons or something like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for that. So for our third question, what do you feel is the most successful distribution channel for promoting your events and getting someone to buy a ticket? I know you said Instagram.
Instagram for sure.
And do you have any like future plans on moving on to another different platform? I know Twitter's like very like.
We have Twitter. It's just like it doesn't. We just started a TikTok.
Okay.
I mean, TikTok popped off, but I think in terms of like getting people to buy tickets, it's the best way right now currently.
Especially when we promote it. Like,
yeah,
that works here is like
when we get like the people to promote it, like not the accounts themselves, but like just like the actual people behind it, or like influencer campaigns and things like that.
Do you guys use mostly like local influencers, or do you
I think Instagram's the one. In general, I don't know if we're gonna switch ticketing platforms for 3 points like we are for the club, but we're supposed to be moving to Dice, and Dice has like really cool advertising stuff that we're supposed to look into. So
because 3 points uses front gate. It's alright. I didn't go to Okeechobee, but I bought tickets to Okeechobee. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. And I think I bought some other things on there before, but it's not just exclusively the 3 points.
They're just like not good for the back end, like for us trying to help. Like if we need a refund, like that's like a nightmare.
Hey, if you made it this far into the interview, thanks for checking it out. It's been a really, really good time talking to these ladies. In this next section, we will be talking about some certain bands, and don't worry if you've never heard of them. I will be including some snippets just for you to listen. I do invite you to come and check out these bands, and if you're looking for new music, really, really good bands, really, really good sounds, and always a good time. Let's keep listening. All right, so what do you think has been the best marketing efforts for incentivizing customer loyalty to your different brands? So essentially, like, how do you keep those same people for 3 points that also keep following the Space and Floyd and now Space Park?
So we do a lot, like I said, like for example with the Pixels, but in general, like we in all of our brands have different like loyalty aspects. Like for 3 points specifically, we always do profit passes, and people who buy profit passes, every time we put them on sale, you see it more every year. People are like, "What's a profit pass? What's a profit pass?" And everyone who had already bought one in the last 7 years is like, it's the best ticket you can buy. It's the cheapest one. You don't know the lineup, but you're trusting these people. And this year we sold the most amount of profit passes we've ever sold, ever. And that's like a cult thing. Mm-hmm. People who know, and they'll buy it, and then it becomes a bigger thing. And then in terms of cross-pollinating the brands, when we advertise and when we send out like mail blasts and stuff like that, since we have specific targeted audiences for each brand, we always like cross-pollinate.
What's like the age range for our target audience?
21 because legally if we're advertising something with alcohol, you get to 18. 21 to like, I personally do 21 to like 50 if I'm feeling crazy. It depends on the artist on the lineup. So like if somebody like the Gorillas were to play again, I'd probably put like 55 or 60 because there's a bunch of old heads who might like that shit. But if it's like, I don't know, like if it were like the XX, then yeah, I'd probably keep it at like 50-45. It's like old people don't like the XX.
Right. Yeah. Or like the ones that hang in the back.
Yeah. Or if it were like Olivia Rodrigo. I'd put it like 18 to like 24.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's really, it depends on I think the artist and like the content that we're pushing, but we're constantly like everything's touching each other. Like if I'm pushing like a Floyd show that's like a DJ that's played 3 points, I'll use a 3 points audience.
Yeah, I went to the Krongben show.
The one at the
Fillmore, yeah.
That Krongben show, we had like our logo on it because I think we helped book, but we didn't promote that for the most part. Like I think we pushed it like organically, but I don't think we ever did ads for it. So I don't even know how the show. I mean, I know it sold the out, but I never went.
Yeah, it was both days were sold out.
I heard great things.
I heard great things.
Yeah, it was a fun show. It was very fun. I do have an added question. I know I asked this before, but I guess I'll tweak it asking now. But what ideas for promotion have been working in a market like this one to create those loyalties, to create curiosity about it? So I'll swap it because I know you talked about it. What other future promotions like the Prophet will be created or are in the works of something like that to be created for a club scene of some sort? I know that's difficult because like essentially there's artists that just come to the club, people just it's like a one-time go.
No, but we have locals. I mean, for the most part, like we're always making like different kinds of passes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with Gami Ultra them. She's like a DJ here.
Yeah.
She throws a party. She's a huge promoter here who does she does raves at the ground. She like will sell passes for her season of her shows.
Oh.
Or like Alexis, who's Sister System, she also has her own party. She sold 50 passes for her monthly show at Floyd. And they get like a little physical memento and like kind of like an all access thing. So we're always doing stuff like that. The thing with the club is that there's always just a base of people who show up, whether it's like tourists or just locals. So the revolving door of like creating that loyalty kind of just lends into itself because we're one of the few clubs. So
still alive in this area.
Yeah,
because it's that out.
Yeah, so it's there isn't much really to do. We do try to like do things like that though, like just community incentivize like
like I think there's like a 4th of July weekend pass.
Yeah, we have like a 4th of July weekend. We're gonna have September all month passes for all of the rooms too.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's cool. That's like I think. Does that answer your question?
No, it does. It does. So my final question to you guys is, being marketers and working with people, do you actually enjoy working with people? And are you able to handle people in a problematic situation before or day of like shows? When I was working in events, the biggest deal, people were just a bunch of kids are being problematic. Yeah. Mostly weebs. Like I was always dealing with people that were just like, I need to go see my favorite anime character, and it's like not a big deal.
Relax.
Like or SuperCon has a very, very niche small documentary, but they show like when people would steal bracelets and people would sneak into the shows, and that was a big problem of the show. That's like the biggest problem for those events. So it's something that's similar, I guess. Or if you have any situations like this here.
Do you have any situations like that? Any idea?
Well, I feel like you more because you stage manage too.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But what's the question? Like, how do you deal with people? I love working with people. You love working with people. I think everyone in this office is very to work in this office. You have to be able to work with people because we're constantly like at each other. Mm-hmm. So I'm like always like we're always talking things through and like it's always like a very joint collective situation. But when it comes to dealing with other people and like day of things, I guess that's also. A bunch of us also work at the club, so we do have to deal with like those kinds of things and people all the time. I deal with a lot of like people on drugs and like people who are really wasted and people that are like authority figures that are in those situations that I have to be like, shut the hell up. And it's in those moments, all I can do is be the bigger person because at a nightclub you can see either the best of someone or their absolute worst.
Oh, definitely.
Same at the festivals. People freak out. People go, either they're sober, drunk, whatever. They're always like, if there's a problem, they'll come at your neck. And, I just have to remind myself, like, the night ends in 3 hours. Everything's going to be fine.
It's true. And the day the gates will close and it'll be someone else's problem.
No, not even that. It's just like whatever homie is freaking out about, whenever there's like situations like that, it's just like stay calm and like, assert your authority. Because those people, at the end of the day, this is on/off record, but when I tell people that I stage manage, I just tell them that, like, when they're like, oh, what does that mean? It's like, I babysit adults.
Yeah. No, yeah.
For 8-hour shifts.
Yeah. That's definitely the whole thing because I had to do that at SuperCon.
So it's just a matter of like keeping your cool. You always have to be the bigger person and just like
especially with men and then you're a woman.
Yeah. I feel like that's the issue.
You literally just have to stand your ground, assert your authority, and like be the boss bitch. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
and then it's like it goes either two ways and be like, or it's like, oh, okay,
yeah,
well,
either they
you little girl,
respect you
like,
more, or it'll
escalate different.
But if it gets escalated, like, I think that's like how I deal with things. I'm very much I get like really intense really quick, so I try to like keep my cool because no one wants to see me like that.
Same. I'm the same way. I think one time I got intense like that, and then we're like, yo, Jackie is like, don't cross her. And it's like,
yeah, you just have to do it once so that people know.
And then we're like, yo, like,
yeah,
and then like they'll find me and like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine now.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, I did answer.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay,
No,
like we like tangented it.
No, it's fine. My life is a big tangent. It's fine. I will ask you the final question. I won't go with my other question, but what advice do you have any marketers interested working in entertainment? Any quick tips, tricks, or blurbs?
Just gotta be authentic.
Honestly,
like,
especially in I think in the entertainment industry, this is people to people business.
Yeah.
So you just have to be yourself. Always put your best foot forward. Make yourself memorable, and don't be afraid. Like if you want something,
don't be put in a box.
Yeah, if you want something, just get it.
Yeah.
Like there's literally there's nothing in your way.
Yeah.
Like you just always be friendly, be nice to people. Especially everything in the entertainment industry, not everything, is like low key a facade. So like
I agree.
don't ever feel afraid. Like to whoever needs to hear this information, like don't be afraid. You're probably gonna get whatever it is you want if you just put your best foot forward and let people know that you want it.
Take the chance.
Take your chance.
Yeah.
That was like my biggest regret with like this job, not even this job, was that I hadn't like reached out sooner. That was literally my only thing for Paloma, because I'm like, we've met so many times. I could have said something to you 20 times before this. I'm so grateful you did hire me, but like this could have happened sooner.
We applied for the job with this whole tweet. Like
that's how I got my job.
Yeah, he was like accepting resumes, and I like asked for his email, my resume, and I didn't forgot about it. But I didn't make it a normal resume either. I wrote like a cute cover letter, and I made it colorful, and I was like, these people don't want to see.
I don't even think this school. I never sent this school my resume. I straight up sent him. He was like, "Can you write me something about things you like?"
I've been there.
And I wrote 4 pages about things that I like.
I wrote a motivational cover letter about Floyd and space.
Literally, just be in any other industry. Like, yeah, put your resume, your LinkedIn, like be super professional. But like, what people want to see in like entertainment is like who you really are,
right?
And like what your strengths are, because everyone's cutthroat and everyone's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So you gotta
find like
come out.
Like not even.
Yeah. It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
It's who you know and what you have.
Yeah. So that's definitely inspirational. Anything you want to shout out? Promote. The floor is yours to end this all
3
together.
3 points coming in the next 3 points announcement coming into
a week and a half.
That's what we have to promote, I guess. Objects Don't Dance is an amazing party at Floyd, so is Sweato if you like to dance. That's kind of like our business. Rougie Tunes. Alyssa's part of a trio called Rougie Tunes. A girl trio of DJs. Yeah, come visit us at Floyd. I'm promoting Floyd. Come to Floyd.
Yeah, Floyd is great.
That's our home base.
Well, thank you guys so much. And
thank you for coming. Sorry this was chaotic.
Yeah.
It's more the better. Thanks. So what did we learn? It takes a strong and willing personality to work in entertainment marketing. As mentioned before, it's also a lot of hard work for an ultimate sweet outcome. If you want to find out more about Space, Floyd, or 3 Points, I have some links in the description. If you so happen to meet Caterina or Alyssa out in the club scene Wild West, say hi. This interview was recorded on my laptop at the 3 Points offices in downtown Miami, and it was edited and produced by me, using Adobe Audition and Premiere Pro. Music was downloaded via Envato Elements. Thank you again for checking out my first audio post. I hope you'll come back and check out my next one. Thank you for tuning in.